It is April 7th. It's a Monday, dog. I'm broke, but I'm up. But we're chilling, bro. I'm practicing this new thing, right? I'm practicing this new thing, right? Where you try not to think negative thoughts and you think something positive, you know what I'm saying? So the reason I'm thinking about this, right, is because I saw it on an Instagram video, right? He was like, oh man, you don't think of nothing positive. All you do is think negative. And he's like, you should try thinking positive only. And once you do that, you see how many negative thoughts you have and which the guy's in line, right? He was telling the truth, and the only reason I'm making like a voice type thing is just because comedic effect. Like, man, all respects to the guy. I don't remember the post. If I find it, I'll link it in this video. I had a moment where I was doing something just now, and instead of thinking negative, I was like, yo, shout out to that person. You know what I'm saying? And that changed my whole thought process. Not my thought process. That changed like the whole way I was feeling in that moment. So now I'm like, I think that's just the way to go. So I think that's what we should start practicing now. You feel a certain way and you're internally thinking about it. Like, let's say you're driving, right? Somebody cuts you off. Boom. Instinctually you want to get mad. I know I do. I get upset. I'm like, bro, what the? When you get in that moment, instead of cussing them out or saying a bunch of stuff that you probably shouldn't be saying, be like, yo, shout out to them. I hope they get where they're going. And just keep driving. Turn the music up. Start chilling. You know what I'm saying? That's what I feel like the way to go now is. I feel like that's the move. That's the move now, right? So, that's just something I kind of wanted to touch on, just real quick before we get into the vlog video. It's been a year and some change working with the country rock band. And, we're finally getting at the point where we're going to send everything to mastering. I was trying to be a perfectionist, but there comes a certain point where you just have to let the music go. Like, with the equipment we use and everything and all the techniques and stuff we use, there was only a certain sound that we would be able to achieve just with the equipment, with my skill, with the skill of the band. You know what I'm saying? And so I think we got around to that point, and I've done all I can do. And so now it's really time to just turn it over. But right now, I'm going to make a CD so that the lead singer, Mr. Conrad, can take the time to listen and make notes. And then I'll probably try to meet with him this week so we can, go over a couple things in the mix, get everything right, send it off to mixing, and then that's one thing I'm done with. Anyway, I need to hurry up and get things moving. Anyway, no more Mr. Nice Guy. That was one of the things that I was reading recently. And one of the things they talked about is that nice guys don't communicate what they want. And instead, they try to get what they want through manipulation. So, for example, like, if we're cool, right, and I pay for your food, and I do that as a way to expect reciprocation. So if I pay for your food, no. I'm assuming that you'll pay for mine next time because I paid for yours, rather than just asking, right? And when I thought about that, I was like, dang, is that something I do? No, I don't do that. But one thing that I don't do is I don't communicate what it is that I want. You know what I'm saying? So it was just reading that, and then it made me think about music because there's people I work with musically, and Dame Taylor at one point in time told me that, yo, you might be wasting your time working with some of these people. I didn't get what he meant, and so I started working with my buddy Rosher. We're doing music, and I explained to him some of my concerns and stuff about working with other people. He's like, bro, you're probably just better than them. He said you're better than them. I was like, whoa. Because that's not something I would typically say. But then when I really started thinking about it, it was like, well, I kind of am. And now in realizing that, I realize what makes me better than them. And it's just the time and dedication put into it. Because I've been doing this, I think this will be 7 years I've been doing music, and I'm not the best. So there's the people I'm talking about, there's me, and then all the way outside of the camera, outside of the frame, that's the industry standard. Like, there's certain things Dame would tell us, and like, I don't understand until like now. Like, when he said you might be wasting your time, I didn't get that until now. And so when I notice them with me being better than them, it's just what they do and what they don't do. So to me, I feel like we're in the same boat, but they don't put in the time. And I can give them the keys to success, but since they haven't done anything on their own, they haven't really done work. They don't want to go and do it. It's like when you give somebody something, they don't respect it. But when they have to go and earn it, they respect it. Since they haven't really put in the work like that, they don't have the level of respect for, and I can't say that because they're not where I'm at. And in turn, I'm wasting my time. And for me, I feel like all the work is on me. And going back to No More Mr. Nice Guy, if I feel that way, I need to communicate that, to, the people I'm working with. But then it's a thing of, if I communicate that, right, are they going to change? Because there's also another thing, right? There's another book I read called Mastery of Love. And the thing, I call it dog theory. I don't know what it's called in the book. But they go over how the successful relationships are one where you don't expect somebody to be anything that they aren't. And they use an example of a dog. A human and a dog have a special relationship because the dog just comes happy. And you're happy because you don't expect the dog to be a cat. When you have a dog, you expect the dog to be a dog. You don't expect the dog to do anything else. And so the dog expects you to be a human. And even if it doesn't, it just doesn't expect anything. And so it makes for a happy, relationship. So if I'm taking the dog theory, and if I'm taking these two books, right? No More Mr. Nice Guy, which is communication, right? Communicating what I want. And dog theory, which is accepting somebody for who they are and not trying to change them. If I communicate what I'm feeling to these artists, or producers or whatever, are they going to change? And I don't know. So that's something I got to think about in terms of, getting this music thing done. But anyway, I'm hitting the 20-minute mark. I'm going to go ahead and dip, change, drop this CD off, come back, eat, chop this up, work on some music, the whole shebang. I'll catch y'all later.